Imagine a weapon that costs $15 million per unit, flies at an astonishing 17 times the speed of sound, and has never been tested in real combat. The United States possesses at most 8 units on standby throughout its vast arsenal. Until today, it was designed to face superpowers like China and Russia. But now, in the coming days, CENTCOM might break that rule. The target chosen for its operational debut is not Beijing or Moscow, but Iran. If the request is approved by the White House, this will be the first deployment of an American hypersonic missile in combat history, marking a definitive turning point in the current Middle East crisis. Why are the United States and CENTCOM willing to risk such a precious and scarce weapon in the Iranian interior? The reason lies in the strategic repositioning of Tehran's ballistic arsenal and the quiet depletion of Western precision-guided munition stockpiles. To understand the gravity of this movement, we must understand what the Dark Eagle is and why it has become the last viable option on the Pentagon's shelf. Its official military name is the Long-Range Hypersonic Weapon, or simply LRHW, with the U.S. Army having christened it the Dark Eagle in April 2025. It is an intermediate-range surface-to-air missile system, falling into the category between 1,000 and 5,500 kilometers, according to classic ballistic conventions. What defines the Dark Eagle is not just its ability to cover vast distances, but its flight architecture, known in the military sphere as boost glide. The system's operation occurs in 2 distinct and perfectly calculated phases. In the first phase, a 2-stage solid-fuel motor accelerates the vehicle to the upper atmosphere, breaking the sound barrier and achieving hypersonic speeds. In the second phase, this booster separates and releases an unpowered glide vehicle. The development of the Dark Eagle involved a gigantic industrial consortium coordinated closely by the Pentagon, with Lockheed Martin acting as the prime contractor. The 2-stage motor is the result of a complex collaboration between Lockheed Martin and Northrop Grumman, featuring high-efficiency solid propulsion provided by Aerojet. On the other hand, the glide vehicle was designed by the Sandia National Laboratories, belonging to the U.S. Department of Energy, and is manufactured by Dynetics. The entire research, testing, and development program consumed over $12 billion in public funds, demonstrating the degree of priority assigned to the technology. Officially, the Dark Eagle has a range exceeding 2,775 kilometers, although independent intelligence estimates point to a real capability that can reach 3,500 kilometers. For comparison, the Tomahawk Block 5 cruise missile, widely used in recent decades, reaches about 1,600 kilometers. Its speed during the cruise flight phase is approximately Mach 5, which equals 6,100 kilometers per hour, but the system is capable of reaching extreme peaks of up to Mach 17 during re-entry. The Dark Eagle's explosive warhead is surprisingly small, weighing less than 14 kilograms. This apparent weakness is actually a design choice. The primary damage is not caused by a chemical reaction, but rather by kinetic energy. A body of approximately 1 ton in mass, impacting the ground at speeds on the order of Mach 10, delivers a destructive energy equivalent to a ton of TNT concentrated in an extremely small area. This makes it the perfect weapon for penetrating heavily armored structures, deep subterranean bunkers, and fortified command installations. The glide vehicle, known in technical terminology as the CHGB Common Hypersonic Glide Body, features a highly aerodynamic conical shape. It alters its flight trajectory autonomously during the mid-course and terminal phases, calculating an interception point against an object that changes course erratically at Mach 10 is, in practice, an impossible task with current air defense technology. A full operational battery consists of 4 transporter erector launcher TEL vehicles mounted on heavy M983 trucks. Each vehicle carries 2 missiles, totaling 8 missiles ready to fire per battery, along with a mobile operations center and logistical support vehicles. The U.S. Army's first operational battery is Bravo, which belongs to the 5th Battalion. 3rd Field Artillery Regiment, subordinate to the 17th Field Artillery Brigade. It is based at Joint Base Lewis McChord in the state of Washington, ready for rapid strategic airlift deployment. The production and assembly cost of a full battery of this system hovers around $2.5 billion, representing a significant portion of the Army's budget. However, when looking at the genesis of the program, we realize that its creation was not originally intended for the Middle East. The Dark Eagle was developed since its conception in 2018 to counter the military expansion of China and Russia. The program was born under a Pentagon directive that prioritized hypersonic development in direct response to 3 events that shifted the balance of power: the launch of the Chinese DF-17 missile in 2019, considered the first 100% operational one in the world; the introduction of the Russian Avangard system; and the maturation of anti-access area denial (A2AD) defenses that both powers built to block U.S. access. The system's employment doctrine outlines 3 essential missions in the event of open conflict. First, to defeat area denial networks by neutralizing long-range sensors and command systems. Second, to suppress the adversary's fire sources by destroying mobile missile launchers prior to launch. And third, to engage high-value, time-critical targets that require immediate response before they disappear from the battle space. So, why would CENTCOM consider using such a strategic and expensive weapon against Iran? The answer demands an analysis of what happened to American and Allied arsenals over the last 2 months of intense conflict. According to various intelligence analyses, the United States has burned through a significant portion of its missile stockpiles, both offensive and defensive. Roughly half of the ADD interceptors, nearly half of the Patriot missiles, 25% of the Tomahawks, and more than 20% of the JASSM cruise missiles have already been expended. Furthermore, the GBU-57 bunker-buster bombs, designed to penetrate rock and reinforced concrete, are practically depleted and out of immediate production. The second reason is the geographical repositioning of Iranian launchers. They have been relocated deep inside the interior of the territory, hidden in deep caves and silos buried beneath mountains, out of range of conventional American weaponry. Finally, the use of the Dark Eagle sends a clear signal to Moscow and Beijing that the United States possesses the weapon and the political will to use it, converting the high cost of the missile into an investment in its strategic deterrence. The Dark Eagle was born for a war that has not yet happened against adversaries much better armed and equipped than Iran. But the Pentagon does not choose the theater where its weapons debut. The war itself does that. If the White House approves CENTCOM's request, the first American hypersonic missile fired in combat will cross the sky of the Iranian interior in the coming weeks. It will be a historic moment that will change modern warfare. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave your like here. If you are not yet subscribed to the channel, subscribe now and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any new insights about geopolitics and defense.